Okay, good morning people, and today, tip of the day is extracting broken head studs. Now, this is an engine that we prepared for a US customer, and as part of our preparation process when you buy a refreshed engine, all of the tapped areas like the manifold, the inlet, the exhaust, all those kind of things, they're all run through with the tap to make sure everything is in perfect condition, ready to just put a bolt in. Well, in this case, we were putting the bolt in. Anyway, so it came to the manifold had finished fabrication, we're ready to put it on, and then this thing's going to go. Manifold's there, engine's there. And then Jake, a certain young individual that works for me, said, I've got a problem. What's that? Well, Jake said, there appears to be a broken stud in the head. And I said, well, why? How did we get to this stage when the engine is now painted and everything's finished, but we have a broken stud? Anyway, apparently we tapped it out but missed one. Excellent. So I'm going to just have a quick explanation, give you guys a quick explanation of how I take them out on a regular basis. Right, so the stud in question is the usual culprit, which is usually the furthest forward one or the furthest rear one. Forgive it looking a little cruddy, but it's all been surfaced up. It's just literally from the WD-40 that I put on it to tap it. And this was the broken stud in question. Someone had actually already had a go at drilling it. They did a really good job of centering it first. Anyway, so what you do is you actually take a drill. I like to use a 3.5mm. Make sure it's centered, use a center pop or something like that. And actually what you want to do is drill the stud all the way through, literally all the way. And you'll find the second that you pop through the end of that stud, it relieves the pressure and it'll actually try and spin. Now, in some cases, you can actually reverse the drill and it'll just wind that stud literally out for you. In some cases, it won't. And in the cases that it won't, all I do then is, it's not the most scientific method, but I found it works really good on this application. You just take a Torx bit. I usually use this T20. Just tap a T20 in the 3.5mm hole that you've just drilled in there. Yes, I know you can get a proper tool to do that, but the Torx bit works fine. It's just a cheap set anyway. And just wind it out. A little bit of WD-40 and it'll literally just spin out of there. We're not trying to bray it in with a £10 hammer, we're just tapping something in gently just to wind it out. And there you go. You know, it works every time. Never had an issue. So if you have that problem on your 606, which I'm sure you will, because a lot of these 606s do suffer with it, I can guarantee that there'll be a fair amount of broken studs up there. You know, you're going to encounter that. So there you go. Tip of the day, drill a hole right through, relieve that pressure, and it'll wind right out. Enjoy. Oh, quick side note before we finish this video. Check these out. These we fit on all manifolds. They're what are called a Nordlock washer. They're a double serrated washer that have a ramp system in between. So what basically happens is when you try and back the nut off, the two ramps, which you can just see, run up against each other and cause the washer to expand and to literally lock the bolt tight. These are the bolts we use in all of them. They're just a real run-of-the-mill hardware spec 8.8 by 30mm. Not too hard because you don't want a super hard bolt in the manifold. You know, if a bolt does break, you want to be able to drill it out or do something with it, not end up with something that's stuck in there which you can never use. The bolts we found pretty much any type, you know, flange nut or stud and nut or anything. As many of the Cummins guys will also probably tell you that it's very difficult to stop these bolts coming undone with extreme heat cycles. But I found with these Nordlock washers, completely fixes the problem. Have had no manifolds coming loose since, and no issue at all with the bolts. I've been criticised on the quality of the bolts before. They're just normal hardware bolts. Well, we've tried, pretty much all the options, and budget's not really an issue. So I have to say that I'm using what I find is best. Everyone else is welcome to use whatever they want, but I find these work really good with the Nord-Lock washers. Which, by the way, the washers are actually quite expensive. But if it stops your bolt coming loose, then and ruining your gasket and causing you to have to stop and put a new gasket in and strip the car down, I think it's worth it. I put them on all our engines and have done for 2 years now. We've had some really good results. So check them out. Nord, Nord, Nord-Lock washers. Buy some.